Hello everyone, my name is Jaybird and welcome back to Lucid9. Without any further ado, let's get right back to where we left off last time, which would be right here. I force myself out of my stupor and amble over to the rest of the group, plastering a fake smile on my face. This first, think later. Where should we go next? Extreme Carousel.
Oh, Cap, do you see that?
I look to where she's rapidly waving her arm and find myself staring at a little carousel. Yeah, it's a bit underwhelming.
No, behind it.
Behind it? I look upward. Behind the kid-friendly circle of ponies is a much larger, much taller carousel with its seats rising into the air as it spins. And the seats are dragons.
We can fly to the 7 seas and beyond, Cap. Who wouldn't want to do that?
Probably someone afraid of heights, which no one in the group seems to be. Well, what are your guys' thoughts? Oh, I thought that was her talking. God damn it! Well, what are you guys' thoughts? Jesus Christ.
Sounds great.
You're exempt. You agree to everything Akira says.
I so do not.
I say we go for it. Trying new things is always a great idea. Doesn't look all that exciting to me, but I got worse. I get to have a dragon for a minion? I look to Artie and Elizabeth, but they only shrug. Great. Time to ride the spinning wheel of death. It's, got to be safer than a roller coaster, right? We trot briskly, a little too briskly for my tastes, to the line where Akira points excitedly at the carousel.
Hey, Rui, do you see what I see?
I look to where she's pointing. A couple seat. Of course.
I don't know what you're saying. Why, you and Cap should ride together, of course.
Why would I want to ride with Yama? He's so fat! How dare you! Excuse me?
I'm sure she just meant to say that you're big-boned, Cap.
That's definitely not what surprised me. I honestly don't see anything of Yama's that can be called fat.
So unfair. He doesn't even exercise.
I do! On occasion.
Yeah, when all the planets align and the blue moon rises.
He was fit as a bull when he was in track.
You could be a real hotshot if you joined track again, Cap.
And why would I do that?
Good aim with firearms is important.
She, didn't mean that kind of hotshot, Audie.
Then what did she mean?
The attendant chooses that moment to raise the barrier. Ruri snaps to attention with a grin that's a little too shiny.
Oh boy, wow! Guess it's time to go. We sure don't want to hold up the line. I really feel like stretching my legs, like elephant leg room. Solo pod for me.
Before anyone else in the group can blink, she immediately leaps into a one-person dragon seat and straps herself in. Behind her, floods of people push past us, struggling to secure the best spots.
Clearly, Rui hasn't watched enough dramas to know what happens when you defy fate.
What happens?
I have no clue! I haven't watched enough dramas either. You die, murdered in cold blood.
Right.
You know, you and Rui are like really bad depth perception. You look like you're really close, but you're actually not.
This might be a novel concept, but Rui and I are independent people. Sometimes we like to do things on our own.
But why do something on your own when you can do it together?
That sounds really unhealthy. Just because you can do something together doesn't mean you should.
You strike me as the kind of person who doesn't like to ask for help, Cap.
That's really random.
Not really. See, there's the kind of people who would say, just because you can do something alone doesn't mean you should.
That means that they can't do anything on their own.
Oh, I don't think it's that. What's the point of life if you never affect other people?
This conversation is taking an interesting turn. I lean in despite myself. What do you mean by that?
Well, if you live as a hermit in the Alps and you don't do a single thing, then the world will be the exact same whether you live or die. So shouldn't you always be looking to affect other people?
Interesting. The crazy Akira has thoughts like these. You can end up having a negative impact, so no, not really. Think about the difference of impact between Stalin. Fuck, Sultan. The Sultan. Aladdin, you will be the Sultan. God, I'm a fucking idiot. Think about the difference of impact between Stalin versus, I don't know, some random citizen who buys a homeless guy some coffee.
But either way, Cap, that random citizen was still affecting humanity. Doing everything alone seems lonely.
I pause at that. Yes, it really does. Hey, you two might want to hurry up before all the seats are taken. We're on it, Highness. But when I look up, I notice that all of the solo spaces are occupied, leaving only a couple vehicles. Well, this should be pretty simple. Akira and I can ride together, negating the risk of putting up with some idiot stranger. Kiddo, which one do you want?
We're boarding together?
What, you'd rather be with a stranger?
I always enjoy the opportunity to make someone's day a little more surreal.
Usually I'd believe her, but something about her seems unusually fidgety. Come on, I'm not putting up with some random kid who'll barf all over me. I hook my arm around hers and pull her into the nearest two-seater. A nice golden dragon with overly long lashes to make it look distinctly feminine. Look at her face. She's all like, She promptly sits down, a face completely blank, and I strap the seatbelt over us. She doesn't say a single word, even when I'm done prepping the vehicle. What's wrong?
On the contrary, what's right?
Pardon?
Nothing!
She turns her head and stares resolutely out the window so I can't see her face. I wait for her to start some random conversation, but she says nothing. Akira. No response. The attendant drops by her car and closes the door. She takes one look at Akira, one look at me, and raises an eyebrow. Girlfriend mad? She seems to be saying. I tried to shake my hands in the universal, no, this is not my girlfriend, but she seems to take it as, I swear I didn't do anything wrong, and only shakes her head as she walks away. Did I make Akira mad? Akira, are you mad?
No.
Oh, okay. More silence. Another attendant's voice drones on as the beginning procedure of the ride. Still nothing from Akira. So, how's life? No response. Akira might as well have been turned into stone. The ride starts up in a cranky whirl and our vehicle begins to pick up speed, rising into the air. We ascend for a few moments, stopping at a nice intermediate point around 10 feet off the ground. Having fun? Still nothing. What's going on? Hey, Akira.
And they're off! What fun specimens of Draconius Rex gracing the ring. It's no secret that the crowd favorite is the famous Freddy, world champion for the past 120 seasons. Past 120 seasons! of the dragon races. Why, at this very moment, we can see money exchanging hands, because in this fictional world, betting is totally not illegal.
I have no clue where this is coming from, but somehow it's a relief. I'll take a weird Akira over a quiet Akira any day. Still, it doesn't take a genius to notice that she's completely ignoring me. She won't even glance in my direction. So Akira,
Come on, Freddy, I didn't raise you to be a loser. Win this race or I'm grounding you for a month.
she leans forward and slams a firm hand on the neck of our dragon, which startles me. Our steed flies higher as if in response.
That's more like it. Show me that my life savings spent on GPDA certified grass-fed gluten-free organic carrots will pay dividends.
Aren't carrots for horses?
Some dragons are vegetarian. Are you mocking their dietary sacrifices? I really didn't peg you as such a dragoness person.
What?
You see, I am the esteemed Sir Angle, trainer of dragons worldwide. And you are just insignificant little Sir Caraway.
Why those names? Wait, did I say that wrong? Is it Angle or... Oh, okay, never mind.
I'm Angle because I want to be an angel, but no matter how close I get, I can't. And you're Caraway because whenever you have a carrot, you throw it away.
At this, Kira seems to renew her determination to ignore me, because she turns forward again, renewing the scolding of her erstwhile dragon.
Freddy! You must redeem yourself! There's rising newcomers on the scene, you know. Backwater talents like Recaf, Lift Table, and Hagen are taking their respective nations by storm. Don't tell me that your age is getting to you.
I mean, he's been around for at least 100 years, apparently. That's pretty old by my standards.
The end is in sight! Go for the finish, Freddy!
But just as she stands up in her seat, only to be stopped by a belt, and waves one arm dramatically forward, the ride begins to slowly lower, pulling back in speed.
No!
But yes, our time on the ride has come to an end, judging from the declaration. This seems to push Akira into a frenzy.
I should have known! If you are what you eat, then Freddy just became a GPDA certified grass-fed gluten-free organic carrot! And no race can be won by a GPDA certified grass-fed gluten-free organic carrot!
She still doesn't look at me, even as she unbuckles the seatbelt and jumps out of the vehicle. I barely catch her arm as she leaves. Hey, Akira, what's the big deal?
You let go of that arm, Cap.
She suddenly sounds very, very serious. I let go of her arm. You're avoiding me, aren't you?
Avoiding your face is very different from avoiding you, Cap.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means that it's time to meet up with the others.
She bounds away before I can stop her. Great. Guess I have to follow along. The rest of the group has reconvened by the map, some noticeably more thrilled than others. How was it, Ree? Being in a pod by yourself?
Oh, not you too, Miki.
Akira, how was it for you?
Me?
Well, I had fun! I sat in a pod with this kid who I convinced to check out Governmecha. Yeah, I'm sure it was good and all, but why don't we do something more exciting? The clamor of the group is starting to get to me, so I focus on Masato's statement! God! What do you suggest we try? You pick something, man! Thanks, delegation at its finest. Right. Guess it's time to take another look at this map. Yep. Let's do... Tower drop? Several terrified screams from nearby turn my attention to a tower of twisted metal that seems to stretch to the sky. Masato eagerly nudges me in the ribs, pointing frantically at said tower of twisted metal. Yeah! Hey Yama, you and me! What? The tower drop, man! No. There are more elegant ways of suicide, you know. It ain't suicide, it'll be awesome! Clearly his definition of awesome vastly differs from mine, or any sane person's definition of awesome. Have fun. You gotta come with me. What? Why? It's destiny, man! Can't you hear it calling you? The ground is calling me more. Stop babying around! Think of it this way. Gravity's acceleration is 9.8 meters per second squared, and that tower is maybe 125 meters high. If we plug it in to figure out the end and velocity of a fallen object, we get the square root of 2 times 9.8 times 125, which is 1,225, and that gets us 49.5. Bam! Our engine velocity is 49.5 meters per second downward. Neglect and air resistance, of course. Then we plug that into the time equation. To get the time, we gotta divide our velocity numbers by gravity numbers. So, 49.5 divided by 9.8, which gives us something around 5.05 seconds. This all means that if the tower breaks, you'll only be terrified out of your wits for 5.05 seconds before you die a quick and painless death. I did not expect to learn math today. It's summer, but I guess fine. Okay, sure. Thanks, that's really reassuring. Still, this sudden display of intelligence leaves everyone in shocked silence. Masato easily grasps me by the arm and lugs me over to the tower. Sometimes I think that Masato is a lot smarter than I give him credit for. I hate drop towers so much. I'm afraid of heights. Well, technically speaking, it's not with the heights that scare me. It is the heights that scare me, but like the thing is that like it just depends on how much mass is underneath me. So if I'm like here's an example I always use. Like say for example, I'm riding the Matterhorn. I can ride the Matterhorn because it's a big fucking mountain, even though it goes really high. But I can't ride something that's like a drop tower or like one of those big spinning swing things that go up really high. I can't ride those because like you're just sitting on a fucking chair, okay? There's not much weight underneath me. I can't do that. It just scares the fucking shit out of me. And I've tried it before. So it's like I've tried it before and it scared the shit out of me. I am pretty sure I peed myself a little riding one of those things. I was so scared. So yeah, I hate drop towers. I feel and someone also I know someone who got injured riding one too. She hurt her neck. She's alive though. Like don't she's not dead or anything. She just hurt her neck really bad on the way down. I feel an impending sense of doom as the attendant straps me in the tower seat, leaving my legs dangling in thin air. I don't see why anyone would do this for fun. Being terrified is fun, man. Yeah, masochist. My stomach lodges in my throat as our seats begin to rise. I note that there's a hyperventilating girl to my left, and further down a kid looks like he's about to vomit. Heh. You should calm down, man. You look like your little Habiki. Habi what? Habiki, my bro. 8 years old. Oh, I didn't know you had a little brother. Got lots of them and more to spare. 4 little tykes to look after. Wait a minute. 4 siblings? You really didn't know? Who in their right mind would have 5 children? I know several people who would. It's disturbing, especially considering that this person that I know can't really even take care of her kids properly. It's really sad. She's like in a really abusive relationship. It's really sad, especially considering that my mom has been in one and she's like trying to help her, but now like she doesn't even want to talk to her because like she realized that she can't help her if she won't help herself. It's really a sad situation. And honestly, she's a really nice person. She doesn't deserve it, but yeah. 8 technically. The older ones are in college. You realize that just makes things more outrageous, right? How could 2 people possibly take care of 8 children? You saying that Mom and Pa didn't raise us right? Well, honestly, if every member of their family is as capable as Masato, I'd be terrified of how much power they'd have. What was it like growing up? It was amazing. We learned how to fight tooth and nail for our survival. Is that psychologically healthy? How did you survive? Competitions, man! Competitions are the answer to everything. Things are beginning to make a lot more sense. So, you had to fight for your food when you were a baby. Nah, Ma fed me then. What about when you were a toddler? Aw, come on, no Kurogane lets another Kurogane starve. What? Then why did you have competitions at all? Ha, I get you now, Yama. I kinda was thinking, why don't you try at anything? But I get it now. It's because you don't want anything. Something about his words cuts deeper than I expect. What does that have anything to do with food competitions? Easy! We all wanted desserts, so we all fought for them. So you split the regular food, but fought for treats? Yup. Nothing else. Talking with Masato helps distract me from the dizzying plunge beneath my feet. I searched for more questions to keep my mind occupied. How did your parents manage to feed 8 children? The older ones work, including me. You have a job? Track is my job. You get paid? I get a scholarship. Same thing. How will you pay for college? Also scholarship. I need a full ride. Nothing less can do. I can't help but feel undeservedly privileged. I've never had to worry about money, and even during some of his down points. Is that what all your siblings have done? It's the Kurogane tradition, man! Maya's the oldest. She trained herself in Taekwondo till she could work and pay for her own lessons. Got a scholarship to Seo Uni after she won nationals. And Uedai, he's second oldest. Prodigy at piano. Played in the music shop because Mom and Pa ain't got one. Happened to run into some dude from Juilliard, and next thing you know, he's got a plane ticket to New York! I slouched in shock. From the sounds of it, the Kuroganes could conquer the universe if they so desired. So what? Here comes, man! Brace yourself! Here comes, man, brace yourself. Holy shit. He clutches to his armrests as our seats begin to plummet to the ground! Well, I've never had a huge aversion for heights. The sudden change of momentum twists my gut into knots. The vertigo throws me into nausea as wind screams past my ears and into my hair. Yeah! After a long, long moment, we finally reach the bottom, somehow still in one piece. Now that's a ride. A ride straight to hell! God damn. The assistant The instant the attendant releases us, I bolt back to the comfort of safety on shaky knees. Same.
Well, look who's back.
Shut up!
But you look like you were having so much fun. But you look like you said something.
Wanna go, Ruri?
No. I'm fine. I'm totally fine.
Actually, I think she would love to go. Come on, Rory!
No. I'm very much fine. Hey, Anna, let's pick something.
I don't mind waiting if you really want to go on.
Mickey, then.
I smirk at her obvious discomfort, but obligingly turn back to the map. Tech showcase. My eyes are drawn to a large, oddly shaped building at the center of the map. It's clearly the biggest attraction in the park. What exactly do they have at this tech expo? You mean, what don't they have? You can pretty much find every Lemniscate device on display there, even their new tech that hasn't been released yet. Considering the building's size, I can see how they can accommodate it all. It says here they're holding some kind of lottery drawing for weed. I double check to see whether I read that correctly. Surely they don't mean what I'm thinking, do they? What? Why would they be giving that away at a drawing?
I'm puzzled as well.
Someone mind explaining what this weed is? WEED is just an acronym for Wall Electric Energy Director. It's a new Lemniscate cell phone that can run on power from a wall socket, even without a battery. That sounds like an underwhelming feature to be so hyped about.
We should go! This is an opportunity to introduce you to the world of technology, Yana.
I feel like you just want to go for this weed.
Not at all! I only suggest this for your sake. If you stay ignorant about today's technological innovations, you're no better than a Neanderthal. They did invent the wheel, so it's not like they weren't smart. In response to my sarcasm, Misaki looks me dead in the eye. It's the same glare she used to give me before she dragged me somewhere against my will. We're going.
And just as I predicted, she takes a hold of my arm, pulling me towards the direction of the expo. What about the others?
Oh, I'm sure they'll follow. No need to worry about them.
Once we dart into the building, I immediately notice the area is way too crowded for my liking. A stream of people push their way through the check-in lines, eager to receive admission. The scene is reminiscent of a herd of wildebeests flocking a water hole. I glance back to check on our group, but they're nowhere in sight. I think we've lost the others.
Good! With them gone, we have a better chance of winning the lottery drawing.
I don't know if you've noticed, Miki, but the odds aren't exactly in our favor.
You must first play the game to win the game, Yana.
That sounds like something a gambling addict would say. Ignoring my comment, she quickly takes her place in line. I'm a little surprised she doesn't force her way to the front. Luckily, it isn't long before we're called next. The attendant prompts us to hold out our wrist, giving us a pair of metallic wristbands, and printed on them are a set of numbers, which I presume are for the drawing. I take another hesitant glance around before entering the expo. There are way too many people here.
Do you want to hold hands?
What? Why?
To prevent us from being separated. Why else?
Without waiting for an answer, Misaki intertwines her slender fingers around mine and quickly leads me through the crowds. This feels familiar. Her firm grip, her brisk pace, resolve despite my hesitation. After all these years, Misaki hasn't changed at all, has she? she's still the same zealous girl who would drag me everywhere she went. A sense of nostalgia causes me to grin. Honestly, I've missed this. Misaki suddenly stops dead in her tracks, breaking me from my reminiscence. This looks interesting. She stands before a large rack, displaying an array of peculiar-looking goggles. There's an exaggerated curve to their lenses, making them appear bulky. After examining them for a moment, Misaki grabs a pair and tries them on. They practically cover half of her face. I'm barely able to stifle a snort. What is it?
See for yourself.
She removes her goggles and slips them onto my face. They feel awkwardly large and must look equally as ridiculous. There are 3 video monitors displayed inside of the goggles lens, giving me a panoramic view of my surroundings. I feel Misaki's hand brush against my cheek as she adjusts something on the side of the goggles. As she does so, the cameras zoom in and out of focus.
They're called dragonfly lenses.
They're sort of like panoramic binoculars. They're kind of impractical to wear, though. I remove the goggles and hand them back to her. She twirls them between her fingers, inspecting them closely.
Maybe they were built to be sturdy?
I guess that would make sense.
Let's try it out, shall we?
Misaki draws back her arm and suddenly hurls them on the ground. Thankfully, they don't seem to break, but I can't help but gasp in surprise. What the heck do you think you're doing?
I just wanted to see if they were sturdy, duh.
You didn't have to smash them on the ground, Miki. What if they had broke?
Then we would have been in deep trouble, wouldn't we?
This girl, I swear she does these kinds of things just to mess with me. Before I can express my annoyance, a nearby commotion grabs my attention.
I wonder what that's about.
With mouths agape, a group of people are fixated on a large object hovering a few meters above their heads. It zigzags haphazardly in the air as it comes dangerously close from colliding into them. From where I'm standing, it almost looks like a drone? Watch out! In one swift motion, the drone changes its course and flies straight towards us. I'm barely able to push Misaki out of the way as it spirals into the display rack. Shards of metal and glass of the drone slide across the floor, but the goggles remain relatively undamaged. That's a lot of damage! You need some fucking Phil Swift certified flex tape to fix that. It seems they are pretty sturdy. Are you two alright? As Misaki and I regain our composure, a woman jogs over. Judging by her uniform, she must be one of the attendants running the expo. Yeah, we're fine, I think. I look over at Misaki, and she nods her head in confirmation. The woman breathes a sigh of relief at this, bowing her head apologetically. I'm terribly sorry. We were performing a demonstration and the drone the drone stopped responding to our remote commands.
A demonstration?
Oh yes. Would you like to visit our booth? The least I can do is give you a demonstration of our tech. I'm not sure how that would compensate for almost killing us with one of your drones. Of course! Misaki, however, doesn't seem to mind. Wonderful! If you two would please follow me, I'll show you the way. After navigating our way past the crowds, we come to a stop at a large military-themed booth. It's impressive, to say the least. There are a number of electronics scattered about, but I haven't a clue what any of them are supposed to be. It's almost like someone just dumped a pile of scrapped parts together and claimed it was a state-of-the-art equipment. And stated it was la 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 la. Or maybe I really am a Neanderthal who doesn't understand technology? Meh. The attendant places the drone, or rather what's left of it, on the counter. She takes a moment to examine the inside of the machine. With a sullen expression, she mumbles something under her breath. The Ikaris are definitely not going to like this. Did I just hear her say the Akaris? Excuse me, do you mind telling us about them?
About who?
The Akaris. Oh, they're part of Lemonscape's board of directors. This expo is sponsored by them, believe it or not. They're... my nose is itching. Ah, fuck. They're board of directors of Lemonscape? Lemniscape? If Yahiko is actually related to them, then why aren't most people aware of it? Unless they don't share a lot about their personal lives with the public. That seems pretty plausible, actually. Are you two ready to see something interesting? Before I can think more on it, the attendant props a large tablet on the counter for us to see. She expertly swipes her palm across its surface, resulting in an assortment of colored patterns to dance across the screen. The patterns gradually warp into a digital face of a man. Misaki gapes at it admiringly. This is Max. Say hello, Max. Hello. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Contrast to his appearance, the inflections of Max's voice sound very human-like. Oh, it's almost a bit disconcerting coming from something that looks so artificial. Max is one of our newly developed AI programs. AI? As in artificial intelligence? Correct. While we've made some advancements in the last few years, we're only scratching the surface of what's possible with AI technology. Max is the product of that research so far. Misaki's eyes brighten in excitement as she examines the machine more closely.
What was he created for exactly?
He'll serve as an automated assistant for law enforcement in the future.
An assistant?
Max collects massive amounts of data from various sources and uses the information to determine suspected criminals. He would then relay his findings to the user in charge and suggest what action they should take based on the situation.
But isn't it possible for him to mistake someone for being a criminal?
Highly improbable. If anything, Max would be more efficient than humans. His judgment wouldn't be clouded by emotion. I see. Curious, Misaki reaches out to touch the monitor. Forgive me for asking, but may I have your name? Startled by the machine's sudden inquiry, Misaki jumps back, holding tightly onto my shoulder.
Huh? Oh, it's Misaki Kazehaya.
And how shall I address your partner? He directs his question at me. We're not partners. It is nice to meet you. We're not partners. Is he purposely being sarcastic? Are machines even capable of doing that? Thank you for your cooperation. I have stored your names for future reference. Forgive me, but I must shut down in order to perform necessary system updates. Oh, of course. Have a good rest then, Max. The attendant promptly shuts off his power and carefully places him back behind the counter. When she pops back up, she beckons us over towards the corner where a large telescopic device sits by itself. This is a laser microphone. While they're used for surveillance, I sometimes use them to eavesdrop on my co-workers. She conspicuously winks at Misaki as she hands her the headphones. The attendant then aims the microphone towards one of the other booths. The device uses a laser beam that detects sound vibration in distant objects. It then interprets that data through the headphones, allowing the person to hear conversations that would otherwise be inaudible from a far distance. Can you hear it? Voices. Can you hear what they're saying? Misaki suddenly removes the headphones and quickly hands them back to the attendant, her cheeks flushing a bright red. What did you hear?
Nothing. Let's try something else.
That sure doesn't sound like nothing.
If I say it's nothing, it's nothing!
Thankfully for her, the building's PA system crackles to life. We are now announcing the winning numbers for the lottery drawing. If you have the numbers 1623, please report to the front desk. Thank you! Immediately, Misaki eagerly checks her wristband.
Looks like you were right.
You didn't win?
No, I wasn't even close.
For a moment, she looks like she's about to cry, but she then throws her hands up in exasperation.
This sucks! This lotto must be rigged!
I don't think they would do that, Miki.
And I was so excited to win the weed!
As if remembering something, she turns to me with a scary gleam in her eyes.
Let me get your digits!
Sure. But I doubt I won either. Regardless, Misaki quickly pulls up my sleeve.
I don't believe it! You actually won!
I was thinking we were gonna win anyways. Wait, really?
Let us make haste! We haven't a moment to spare!
And just like that, she begins pulling me to the front desk. I'm barely able to give the attendant a slight wave as we speed off. After one of the staff confirms my numbers, they hand me a small box. On it, Lemon Skate's infamous Infamous company logo decorates its cover. Honestly, it's not like I really need another phone. My current one works just fine, so this model would likely just collect dust somewhere in my apartment. I hand Misaki the box. She can't seem to decide whether she should immediately tear it open or show some restraint.
Are you sure you want to give it to me?
These models are expensive, you know. Isn't that why you brought me here?
Well, partly, but that wasn't the only reason. I just wanted to spend some time with you since we haven't talked much lately. Besides, it's not like I'm some heartless tech addict who just use you as a tool.
I can't help but smile at that. She seems to take this as confirmation to unwrap the cell phone from its case.
Oh! The camera resolution is a lot higher than my current phone. Why don't we take a photo together and try it out?
Photo? Of the both of us?
Camera shy, are we?
Well, no, but... Misaki suddenly hooks her arm around my shoulder, pulling me close. Mimi close. Mimi close now. I feel my cheek press against hers as she positions the phone for a good shot.
Say cheese!
Wonderful. Unprepared, I'm temporarily blinded by the flash of light. It takes a moment before my vision comes back into focus.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize the flash was on. At least you didn't blink.
As she shows me the picture, I can't help but cringe. It's high resolution, alright. You can see every detail of my face as I awkwardly wince from the flash. Misaki, however, looks as perfect as ever. I guess she really is cut out for the modeling business, isn't she? Handing Misaki back her phone, my own phone suddenly trills in my pocket. Okay, realistically, when you get a new phone, you can't just boop, turn it on like that. You have to actually plug it in and charge it first, and then you turn it on, and then you're allowed to, well, not exactly, you're not allowed to do shit right away on it. You have to, like, connect your phone plan and all that kind of stuff, you know, switch phones, do all that kind of shit. I've changed my phone very, very recently. Well, not very, very recently, but recently enough to know that that's how it works. Yama Ishimoto. Oh, let's read all this. Can I scroll back up? I want to scroll back up and see all their messages. No! I didn't read it all! I didn't read it! I guess it was just re-asking where we were and shit like that. I'll read it when I'm looking back at the video so I'll know.
Who is it?
Uri. She's wondering where we went.
Oh, then let's not keep her waiting.
God. Misaki takes my hand once more as we both make our way out of the expo. When we meet back up with the group, it's apparent Uri isn't happy with me. She avoids eye contact, focusing her attention on the hot dog she's munching on. Hey.
Look who decided to join us again.
It's not like I was given much of a choice. I stare pointedly at Misaki, but she only grins. So, are you guys up to heading somewhere else? Anywhere's fine with me, man. As long as it's fun. I shall leave the decision to you.
You!
Oh, I shall leave the decision up to you.
You are the navigator of this expedition, Cap. Just lead the way and we shall follow, even to the depths of Hades.
Well, guys, I'm gonna end this episode here. If you guys enjoyed this episode of Lucid9, leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, ring that notification bell, and remember, die safely. Bye-bye!